That's right now. We are live for our TakeOver Chicago review. We got DJ, we got Casey, we got possibly a special guest, Rabid, if he shows up at some point.
He won't.
Because he was supposed to show up at like 7:15 and it's way past 7:15. But anyway, let's get into this show because it was a really good show. I thought it was a really good show.
Yes, I think we had it in a while. I think it was one of the best we've had in a while.
It was. It definitely was. As usual, very good opening video package. Any thoughts on the opening video package?
Not really. You know, kind of like what video packages do. You know, it got you pumped for the show, but I like it. Only thing I didn't like, I felt like it was kind of too much based on Hideo Itami and Bobby Roode a little bit. Like, especially considering that wasn't the main event, which I was actually, I wasn't surprised it wasn't the main event, but I was just like, like the tag team match, I was like, oh yeah, that match, yeah, that's there.
Yeah, but so first match of the night, which I think I predicted correctly that Justin had wrong in our predictions. Eric Young versus Roderick Strong.
What, does it make any sense to have it any other way though? Because like all the rest of the matches were title matches.
True. But anyway, I loved Roddy coming through the crowd and taking out Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf. That was real smart, you know, storytelling. Good match between these two. I really liked it. The only thing I didn't really like was the selling of the attack on Wolf and Dane. I felt like they weren't down long enough. They should have been down a little bit longer. Just because I felt like it made Roddy look a little bit weaker than he should, that they got up so quickly after he attacked them from behind. But while I did like the match, I just feel like this wasn't built enough for a takeover. And I think we talked about this before. We were kind of confused as to why this match was on takeover. I would rather have, not that this wasn't a good match, I just would rather have seen either Drew McIntyre in a match or Aleister Black in a match, because they're built up so well. And even though Aleister Black has been on, I think, main event or superstars or whatever, he's still booked on NXT future shows. So you could have put him in a match here and it would have been made a little bit more sense, I feel like. I feel like this match was just kind of thrown together. But Roderick Strong does get the win. Thoughts on the match?
Yeah, it was definitely a good match. I think as far as starting the show, like, I don't know if there was any other way you could have started the show because you don't want to start the show with the title match, but it was definitely a good way of starting the show. I don't know if these two have worked together before because I know EY was in TNA forever and Roderick Strong was in Ring of Honor forever, but I felt like they worked very well together. The chemistry was done really well, or at least they orchestrated it really well, you know, as far as like in preparation or something. But I felt like it went well. I liked Roddy going after Sandy as well. Like, I thought that was really cool. That was a good little like storytelling point right there, because obviously, you know, the numbers game. I was kind of upset that Roddy like took out like all of Sanity, just because I didn't really like it. I just didn't really like him taking out all of Sanity, as far as even winning the match, because I felt like if you're trying to, I don't think they've consistently built up Sanity, in my opinion. I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't think they've consistently built up Sanity to be like this big dominant force. Like, I think they're kind of creepy and like that's kind of cool, but like other than that, they're not really this big dominant force to me. But other than that, like I definitely felt like this was a good match. It was a great way of starting the show. One of the spots, I think it was an apron spot, that was pretty cool. I really liked, but you know, overall, I really liked it. And like you said, I think that's the one point that I agree with definitely too, is that I don't think it was built up enough for TakeOver. But then again, they've been building this for the last couple of weeks. It just hasn't been just Roderick Strong and Sanity. It's been, you know, Roderick Strong, No Way Jose, wherever he is, and Ty Dillinger versus Sanity. So, I mean, from the building standpoint, it hasn't been, I think, as inconsistent as it seems.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, that definitely a good opening match to start off the show. We get a Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate video package. Wasn't really anything new. Just kind of the same video packages we've been getting from the UK tournament and their, build up to their match tonight or last night. But I forgot how good that final match was in the tournament. And it could have just been the way they edited the video package together. But I was like, wow, that was a really good match, and it made me want to go watch it again. Um, Also, again, we got JR as one of the special guest commentators for the UK Championship tournament. And Justin just sent a message saying, what? This man. This.
That's about right, actually.
Yeah. But any thoughts on the video package before the UK title match?
It was definitely good. I think it recapped it well. I liked it. Overall, I liked it.
Yeah. So we get Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate for the United Kingdom Championship. Right out of the gate, this was an awesome match. This match, kind of showed part of why I personally am so excited for this weekly show, UK show that they're talking about that apparently is going to happen on the network. I'm still not going to hold my breath, but what I'm definitely excited for is like the technical wrestling that is so well known, especially with the UK competitors. And I think they showed this very well in this match between these two. And plus, these guys know each other so well that there was no way this wasn't going to be a good match. I was surprised that this match was so early on the card, because at least when I was writing up my review on this match, I was writing it as I was watching it. So I was like, this match is so good. I was worried that a match this good, how are other matches going to follow it? Obviously, all the other matches were just as good, but you always run that risk when you have a really good match towards the kind of beginning of a show. You don't want to just be so good in the beginning and then the rest of the matches kind of not be as good. Luckily, that didn't happen, but that was one thing that kind of worried me just from the beginning. Also watching this match, and I don't know if you thought this too, but I don't think I've heard fans really chant as much as they did for an actual match as they did on this one. Like we hear fans chant all the time, CM Punk or this is awesome or whatever, but it felt like they were specifically chanting a lot for this match during this match, which I thought was really cool. But it was definitely an awesome match. I kind of wanted them to set up a series of matches between these two, because that's how good they are together. But it was just a really good match, and I think all championship matches should feel as kind of intense and epic as this match did, because this was one of those championship matches I felt like you were on the edge of your seat. I feel like we all pretty much knew Pete Dunne was going to win, but there were so many times where it was like, oh, okay, Tyler Bate might retain here, or there were false finishes and awesome spots and things like that. This was just a really, really good match. Pete Dunne does win and becomes your new United Kingdom champion, and he did hold it in his mouth. He did hold the title in his mouth, so DJ was happy. Thoughts on the match?
This was by far match of the night. I mean, like all the matches were good, but this was by far the best as far as storytelling, as far as the flow of the match, like everything. And I think it does help that it kind of stems from a UK tournament a little bit. And I also like that Pete Dunne didn't really attack him at the beginning of the match or before the match to add anything extra to it. It was just a straight up good technical match. Like I like it's hard to explain like like it's hard to even find anything to nitpick about or be mad about or be like, um, it's just hard. If you could try to invite Rabbit again through the call, like add him. I'm trying to get him in. I don't know why this is so. Anyway, but I don't know. Like overall, I just enjoyed it. I just enjoyed the match. I thought it was really good. I love Pete Dunne as a character. I just do. I think he is amazing as a character. But Tyler Bate does a good job. I don't know what I was about to say right there. Tyler Bate does a good job of being like that lovable underdog, where you don't get tired of him being the lovable underdog. And albeit we haven't seen him a lot, so it's kind of hard to be tired of him. But still, like this match was ridiculous. I love the X-Plex on the apron. I watched this match again too, by the way. And like I love the X-Plex on the apron, and I just love and this is kind of a thing that always has gotten me is the do whatever it takes to win concept, especially in title matches. And this match, I think, hit that really hard and did a really good job with it.
Yeah. I tried to send I sent the invite. Oh, there he is. Here we go. We got Rabbit. We got him. He's here, I think. Hello?
Case.
Yeah, we're here.
We are live as Rabbit is coming in. He's cashing in his Instant Classic Wrestling podcast, Money in the Bank, and he's joining the review. I think it's how it works nowadays, right?
I didn't know we had one. I didn't know we had a Money in the Bank.
I think it's when someone joins in the middle, that's what we're going to call it from now on.
What's I miss?
We're not that far into it. We're only into the second match, but any thoughts on? I guess we'll start with the Eric Young Roderick Strong match.
Glad to see your boy Eli again. That's a thing.
Oh yeah, when it started off, when it first started off, like the packages in the beginning, when I first saw Brood and EY, off the break, I was like, oh yeah, you see my boys. But the first match with EY, I like that match. I don't know who the guy was he was wrestling, but I like him too. Because Chris with his moves, you know what I'm saying?
Rabbit. He's like the perfect wrestler for you. He's so fluid, man.
Exactly. And he remind me when I seen him, he remind me of Dean Malenko. I don't know why.
See, I tell everybody that. Roderick Strong reminds me of Dean Malenko. Yes.
Yeah. That's the first person I was thinking of when I saw him. As I was watching him wrestle. Because he was crisp with his and fluid moves. It just reminds you of Dean Malenko. Back when smaller people wasn't just flying around, they was actually wrestling a lot. And that's what it remind you of. But it was a good match, man. Especially when they had a couple of times EY hit him with some nasty moves, man. But I know EY, when you watch him, if you watch him at TNA, he can do, extremely more than what he doing. But the stuff he was hitting them with in here was nasty, especially when he dropped him. It was nice. He hit him with them nice belly to back suplexes. EY always been crisp, always been nice, always. So he one of my top notch wrestlers ever, because he bring it to the table every time he get in the ring. I don't know if that's why my man look good or not, because y'all know I never seen him wrestle before. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you say his name is Strong or something like that. So this is my first time seeing him wrestle, and I just like his fluidness. You know what I'm saying? And the first person I thought of was Dean Malenko. But the second,
like, so does it make sense that someone that good is in WWE developmental?
It's just hard for me to understand how they doing this. You know what I'm saying? Because when you see people like Rude and EY, it's hard to see, is it completely developmental? You know what I'm saying? Or it's just certain people in it being developed. You know what I'm saying? Or is the whole thing is developmental? You know what I'm saying? I don't think the whole thing is developmental. It's just certain people in there and certain aspects is being developed. As far as what I can see, it may be. This is the first show I've seen, so I don't know. But what I can see, it's not like everything is being developed. It's like certain characters and certain wrestlers that need, you know what I'm saying, developing certain things.
Yeah.
Because you can't develop anything with EY.
So, yeah, I mean, you ain't even seen the Velveteen Dream yet, so.
Oh man, we don't need to see that. We don't need to see that. But anyway, what do you think about the second match for the United Kingdom Championship? Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate.
What is that? So it's a belt. It's in WWE. Or what's going on?
It's
the UK is it's a belt. He was asking what the UK Championship was.
Yeah.
One of WWE's championships, but it's supposedly only supposed to be defended in the UK. But now I think because they haven't started their weekly show, they're supposed to have like a weekly show, which hasn't started yet since they had the tournament to crown the first champion. It's just kind of a belt right now. They're kind of trying to figure out what to do with it.
But specifically, it's only like you have to be from the UK to win it. Like that's basically how it's been so far.
True. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
You have to be a UK wrestler.
Yeah.
How they got a belt in UK. Yeah. But this match right here, I don't know their names. But this was a good match, man. Good match. From beginning to the end. They was doing some moves in this match that was crisp, clean, and it was innovative too. Some things I ain't seen before, you know. So they was nice. Nice. What's his name? Taylor? I don't know. I think Tyler or something.
You got Tyler Bate and you got Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne, the man with the belt in his mouth. That's my boy right there.
He did. The other guy with the blonde hair, he did a move off the rope. He did a big punch. That was beautiful.
Yep. You know this kid's only 20, right?
20?
Yeah, 20 years old.
He's nice though, nice and fluid. And he got the mannerisms, the body language too. I like it.
Yeah.
He like us most. But this was a lovely match, even with the manipulation of the joints. I love that. We watched Impact. Kayfabe. This is an example right here, Kayfabe.
Yeah.
As he manipulating his joints, twisting his arms and all that. Manipulating his joint, you know. He got his fingers bent back and all types of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the guy named with the long hair, he was nice, stiff. He was a grappler. I like wrestlers as grapplers. With everything means something. Every move means something. He twisting your arm. He twisting your ankle. He trying to, everything he want hurt you. You know what I'm saying? I like it. And it's just little joints that he make hurt. I like that stuff, man. That's what I mean about kayfabe.
Me cringe too. Like, that's what I like about it too, Rabbit. It make you cringe. I be like, no, don't hurt the man fingers like that. No, don't do it.
Exactly. He kept poking him in his ribs and all that, man. I like all that stuff. That stuff like that will make wrestling what it is, professional wrestling what it is, man. You know, especially when he did a corkscrew joint. It was a beautiful match, right? This was nice joint. I just like the commentary. That bring me to why JR there? What is he doing there? He back in WWE?
Yeah, I think he signed I want to say a 2-year deal to, I don't know specifically what he's doing, but I think he signed a 2-year deal or something like that with WWE again. But
yeah. That's what I be saying. When some of these people say they ain't with WWE, they really are. They just doing podcasts. You know what I'm saying? They be still with WWE for real. But it was a good match, man. Good match. Airplane spin. It's beautiful. but I don't like the little hawk up. Why is everybody still doing hawk ups? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, he threw that in there, but that was unnecessary. But other than that, it was a nice match. 2017 should nobody do the hawk up for no reason at all. Shouldn't even be doing it. But it was a nice match. It's a beautiful match right there. I like it.
All right. Moving on, we got the NXT Women's Championship Triple Threat match. We got Ruby Riott versus Nikki Cross versus Asuka. Other than the UK, Rabbit dropped out for a minute. He should be back. But other than the UK title match, this is for me was the one match I was really looking forward to. I was really excited for. And this was a great match, you know, nonstop action, total nonstop action between all three. I feel like there wasn't any time where, you know, somebody wasn't doing something, or it felt like there was no, you know, kind of rest hold or anything like that. You know, there was always something going on, even when, you know, somebody was out on the outside of the ring. The other two were always doing something, which I definitely like. The only thing I didn't like was after Ruby did the top rope senton onto Nikki Cross, Asuka immediately got up from the outside, completely, to me, no selling Ruby Riott's suicide dive that she had done before to break up the pin. I just didn't like that. I didn't have a problem with her getting in to break up the pin, but it felt like she just immediately got up and no sold, you know, what Ruby Riott just did. I just didn't like that. But great match. Obviously Asuka retained. But for me, even with Ember Moon's injury, that, you know, I feel like they should have booked a title change, even if it was temporary, because I feel like a lot of the fans are kind of getting not tired of Asuka, but a little bit kind of gassed out a little bit. And I think, like, if they even changed, you know, the title for a week, you know, and then she won it back, I think that would, you know, kind of revamp it a little bit. You know, because we are obviously inevitably going to be getting Asuka versus Ember Moon. But I feel like one change in there, even like a temporary change for like a week, like I said, would, you know, help kind of get the fans, you know, back into it again. But DJ, any thoughts on the triple threat match?
Yeah, but I have to.
DJ.
Sorry, I'm too busy getting fussed at by my mom for something I didn't do. But anyway, I didn't do nothing. She said I charged money on that account that I didn't do. But anyway, I love this match. It was great. Triple threat match. I think the only thing I didn't like, I don't think it was as good as like past Asuka matches, but I think it was really good. I liked Nikki Cross. I love Nikki Cross. Like, just it's the little things that she does. It's the facial expressions. It's the Asuka. They're like, it's just the little things that she does. Like laughing at people when they fall out of the ring. Like, that stuff. That stuff is amazing, and that stuff makes me happy to watch. Overall, though, the match was good. I liked it. I even liked Ruby Riott in this match. I felt like there was certain moments where it felt like, you know, anyone could win, which I always like, especially in triple threat matches. And I'm hoping, I don't know, I thought it was weird that it felt like they kept Asuka really strong in this match. Like she, for some reason, it felt like she was just really strong in this match. Like, I guess because she pinned them both at the end, it just made her feel like extremely strong. Like, and I don't know if I was expecting that.
Yeah, that was one thing I didn't like, because I just felt like it wasn't necessary to pin both of them. I felt like that was overkill. But obviously, with her new sort of heel character, I guess it makes sense. and I don't know if Rabbit's coming back, but we'll move on. We will move on to the match that threw me off at the beginning, the NXT Championship match, Hideo Itami versus Bobby Roode. And I was just confused because I get that obviously the tag team championship match was a big deal, obviously, but I still felt like, why would you have the NXT championship not be the main event? I feel like that just kind of makes the title feel a little bit second rate to me. And we've talked about this before, whether, your world title should always be main event, or if you can do it not main event.
The women's title, though. So,
What?
They did it with the women's title, though.
True. But I'm a bit.
Before you get into your thoughts, I just want to get my thoughts on that before I forget. I disagree. Like, I think it makes all the divisions feel important. Like, it makes all the divisions feel like they could possibly, they're gonna have Shinsuke start this anyway. It makes the titles, like, all of the divisions feel important to me, instead of, like, because we always talk about how, like, we never get to see the Intercontinental Championship in the main event, or the U.S. title in the main event, or the women's title in the main event, or whatever. So, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
Your volume just went all weird for a second.
It went what?
It went weird for a second. It was almost like you disconnected your microphone or something. It was weird.
I don't even have a true microphone because I'm on. It's probably because Justin's calling me. That's probably what it is.
Probably. This man. He's probably gonna want to come into the video when we almost done. But
is it better now?
Yeah.
It's probably. I think it was changing settings by itself too. I don't know.
Yeah, it was just for a second there, but yeah. But I definitely like this match. I loved Rude taunting Itami in the beginning of the match, and then Itami using that against him and almost getting him into the GTS. I love that. But this was another match. I had to take myself out of it and just enjoy the match, because obviously we knew. Let's face it, we love Hideo Itami, but we knew there was no way he was gonna win the title. It just wasn't gonna happen. But this is a good match. It wasn't as good as the UK championship match or even the women's championship match to me. But it was a very good match. During the match, I was kind of I was actually looking at Hideo Itami's Wikipedia page and found out that Hideo Itami means hero of pain, which maybe explains all the injuries that he gets all the time, because he
gotta be heroic and come back from him. I get it.
Yeah, but I don't know. When both Rude and Itami were outside the ring, and Rude said, "Collarbone, my collarbone." We was talking about his collarbone. That actually worried me, because I thought I was worried that it was like an actual injury, and I did not want the match to end like that. I was like, please no. What?
Thanks. Why do you hate this man? You always wish an injury on him. Shame.
Did you not hear what I just said? I was hoping it wasn't an injury, because I didn't want the match to end like that. But luckily it didn't end there. It wasn't an injury. But obviously Bobby Roode retains, because it's Hideo Itami. Yeah. DJ, thoughts on the NXT Championship match?
It was good. I thought it was good. I feel like there was a little bit missing from it. I don't know what it was, but there was something missing from it. Probably it was the fact that Hideo Itami warmed up in blue tights and came out in normal black tights, and I was like, bro. But
I saw that. I'm like, wait, but what?
what a blue eyed dope. But it was a good match. I think a lot of times with Rude, I feel like his matches don't get as good until the end. And plus, Hideo missed his little kick. I don't know if you saw that, but he missed his little kick. His little hop up back kick. I thought that was hilarious. That was so freaking funny. Um, just because, but I thought it was funny that no one complained. But I make this joke all the time, but it's true. Let's catch Roman missing a Superman punch or something, and the entire world would explode. I think literally. But yeah, I mean, I think this match was really good, especially once he got to the end. I love the ending with the two, what was it, glorious DDTs. Love that. I like Hideo Itami kind of playing to the glorious thing too, and I like this storyline because it was kind of, it felt like it was like a traditional storyline. It was like just a normal storyline with like you got your entitled champion going up against your like blue collar worker who's had to go through injury after injury or struggle after struggle just to get there. So I liked it. I actually felt like Hideo had a good chance of winning, but I was wrong. So
Yeah. But you actually reminded me of a couple things. First, the Hideo warming up in the blue tights and then coming out in the normal black and gold, and I'm like, wait, but what? Why though? What? Why? And then I don't know if you caught this, but they were showing, this was before the women's championship match. They were showing all three of the women, getting ready in the back, and they showed Ruby Riott sitting on the steps in her ring gear. If you looked under her kick pads, she was wearing like red Converse, and then she comes out, she's wearing black shoes, and I'm like, why would you take your kick pads off to put new shoes? Why wouldn't you just, bruh? That seems unnecessary. But moving on, they did show Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Pat Patterson, and Cassius Ohno all in the audience. So you know what that means? They're all debuting in NXT.
I think everyone had the same idea what that meant.
I was like, does that mean they all debuting? And that's how that works usually. You in the audience, so you debuting. But moving on to the main event, the Tag Team Championship ladder match, DIY versus the Authors of Pain. I'm gonna give DJ this one first.
Yeah, I forgot this was the main event. I forgot this was a match. I'm not gonna lie. Until they came out, I was like, man, this show. It feels like this match is early. When I got to the NXT title match, I was like, it feels like this match is really early. Then I realized I was like, oh, okay. And I don't know about you, but I was waiting for an Adam Cole appearance at the end of that match because it took him so long to like get to the next match and everything. But especially at the announce table, like it felt like that was just extra. There was just a lot of just extra in that. But I definitely liked the match. I like the them bringing out the big old ladder. I like that. That's what I'm calling it. That's the official name for it now. I like the big old ladder. I enjoyed that they I enjoyed the Authors of Pain like struggling to get up the ladders, like that little bit of storytelling, them like just struggling to make it up the ladders because they're bigger and they're not used to being in ladder matches, unlike Ciampa and Gargano. So I really like that. And I like only thing I didn't like, and I think this is kind of common in ladder matches. I love the big struggle to get to the titles, but then when it's actually time for you to get the titles, it's like the easiest thing in the world. I always think that's hilarious. Like I was watching, I was like, why was that so easy when you struggled so much to get the titles before? You were up there just like hanging, but it was definitely a good match, and I was excited because it was a ladder match, and we had never seen it before in NXT as far as tag team championships are concerned. So it was good, and then I like freaking after the match, Tommaso Ciampa jumping Johnny Gargano. I like that because at first, like the way they set it up, it looked like they were going to the main roster. I don't know if you had that feeling too, like right after the match, like they had that kind of thing where it looked like they were going to the main roster, but then it was weird because I don't know. It was weird because they then did this whole turn thing, which I like because it's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna make for some really good matches. So I'm not necessarily upset about it. And I like Ciampa being the heel and Gargano being the face. So I think it makes more sense. And now I can just cheer for Ciampa like I want to anyway. But definitely a good match. AOP won, which I'm not surprised about. Also like Paul Ellering's involvement in it. I enjoyed that. I thought him coming in to kind of save the day, the kind of the last ditch effort. I like that a lot too. And them having to carry him back up the ramp, perfect. But Casey, thoughts on the aftermath and the ladder match for the tag team titles?
Well, I'm going to talk about the match first, and then I'll talk about the aftermath. So
I think you should talk about the middle of the match first, and then go to the beginning. Yeah.
Okay. I'll think about it. I'm not going to do that. There's one thing that I'm surprised you didn't mention, and you weren't severely upset about.
Was it a roll up?
The champions came out first.
Yeah. I think I was so confused about this match that I forgot about it. I was so confused. I was like, wait, oh yeah, this match is happening.
Yeah, I was definitely interested to see just how this match would be booked and how it would play out, and what role Paul Ellering would play. We got an awesome dive between the ladders to the outside by Johnny Gargano. I definitely like that. The beginning of this match was I felt like heavily in DIY's favor. Eventually, AOP started to come back. AOP got two huge ladders out and kind of draped them from the ring to the guardrails on each side of the ring, and tried to powerbomb Gargano and Ciampa through them, but AOP end up getting laid out onto the ladders, and Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa climb the big ladder between them and kind of do splashes through AOP on the ladders.
I don't know about you, but I was a little scared at that because I was like, I know this ladder's gonna like snap in half, and I hope no one dies.
I was worried about that too, but I was also worried because it looked like Ciampa and Gargano went a little too far and almost missed the ladders, and hit their heads on the floor. They jumped too far. It was like
somebody in this show did that. Like I was at the end of the UK title match. I don't know if that was planned or when Tyler Bate went for his dive and just like landed on his face.
Yeah, I was like, bro. But this match was just insane and got to a point where I really had no idea who was going to win, which I kind of liked. I liked that for a while there. I really didn't know which way they were going to go with it. I like matches like that where it's not as predictable. Obviously, it felt predictable in the beginning when you were like, okay, this is obviously a DIY match. They're going to find some way to win. But then towards the middle, you were kind of like, okay, this could go either way. Ellering tried to get involved only to get a lovely super kick to the face by Johnny Gargano. I definitely like that.
Super kick!
Super kick! I almost had to look away was when AOP smashed Johnny Gargano in the face with the ladder. Like,
yeah.
Like they showed the replay, and I'm like, how you do that though? Like, how he not
dead though?
Like, how your jaw not broken? Like, how? And then Razor goes for the title, and Ciampa basically German suplexes him through the ladder. I thought that was awesome. Obviously, AOP
at first I was like, how are they gonna do that? Like I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh god, no.
I was like, this ain't gonna end well. This ain't. Oh god. I'm like, but AOP wins. After the match, DIY get the standing ovation and much deserved respect from the NXT universe. Then obviously, Ciampa turns on Johnny, attacking him, which I kind of liked. But I don't know about you. I really did not see that turn coming. I don't know if you saw
I
it
didn't
coming.
either. I had walked away. Because, I was like, okay, they're going to do a little celebration thing and everything. So I walked away for a second, and I looked back, and I'm like, oh, snap. Champ was attacking him. And then I came back and started watching it again.
Yeah.
And they went, like, really far with it, too. Like, I expect, usually they kind of, like, stop it.
Yeah.
At a certain point in time, especially, like, when he's going to walk away. Then he came back for more. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and then I loved it. I thought it was an awesome heel turn. They did it really well. It got me, at first I was kind of upset because I was like, they were supposed to go to the main roster, blah, blah, blah. But it actually got me more excited because now I'm excited to see, what's the aftermath of this going to be on this week's NXT? How is Johnny going to react? What is this? This brings, like DJ said, so many different matched possibilities and storyline possibilities here. And I feel like NXT still could use them more so than the main roster would use them right now. So I don't have a problem if they keep them down in NXT for longer. I know for a while we were like, when are they finally going to go to the main roster? But I'll give this a chance and see kind of where they go with it. But that was your NXT TakeOver Chicago review. Again, like we said, one of the best NXT TakeOvers we've seen in a while, I feel like. But any other thoughts before we sign out and come back later for the Backlash review?
Not really. Just a really good show. I think one of the best we've seen in a while. All the matches were at least solid, if nothing else. Really, probably really good. I'm gonna try to get Rabbit on, maybe sometime this week, just so he can kind of talk about his thoughts. Because, like he said, if you didn't watch the Impact review, he said he hadn't watched WWE like period in like what, like 13 years or something. It was a long time. So like, I was curious to see that kind of, especially with NXT, because I know like he was always kind of down on it even before watching it. So like I was always curious about that, and from the first two matches, it sounded like he liked it. So I'm kind of curious to hear what he thought about the rest of it. But we'll have him on at some point, probably later in the week, maybe.
Yeah, I think
If we can tomorrow, maybe it might be Tuesday, but we'll figure it out.
yeah, sometime. Also, I think he should watch the UK special too, because I think if he liked this, he would probably like that too.
Yeah.
But as usual, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video, share the video, leave your comments on what you thought of NXT TakeOver Chicago. Follow us on Twitter at ICW_podcast. Follow Rabbit on Twitter at, I can't remember his Twitter. What's his Twitter thing?
It's Rabbit313.
Okay, Rabbit313. Follow the other guy that didn't show up, the true JSB, Jabroni.
Don't promote him. Don't promote him. He doesn't show up anyway.
Right. He's sending messages to the chat, and I haven't even looked at them. But we will be back later tonight for the Backlash review. Hopefully it's decent. Obviously it won't be as good as TakeOver and the UK special, but we will see you then. Bye.